greatest digital asset ever created. I'm so glad I accumulated before the space got saturated. XRP the greatest digital asset ever created. Make the haters aggravated, get the spaceship activated. XRP the greatest digital asset ever created. I'm so glad I accumulated.
What's goody, everybody? Welcome back to the channel where you get your crypto news. So I definitely want to just start off by saying, what a day and what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Ripple is a bridge of all the money, and revolutionizing Swift. $100 will just be the beginning, so get ready. So this pretty much says let the king speak, and this is Brad Garlinghouse himself explaining to you guys what Ripple is and XRP. What's the difference in like a 2-minute span. So just listen up to this real quick. If you don't know, now you know.
Currency, also you're very involved in blockchain. Absolutely. So Ripple sells a blockchain technology to banks and payment providers and other financial institutions to do real-time settlement between banks. So today, if Morgan wanted to send $10,000 to London right now, the fastest way for her to do that is to drive to Newark or JFK and fly it there. Our view is, in a world of the internet, you can stream video from the space station. You should be able to do real-time settlement between banks, and we sell a technology to banks to do that.
And the banks are getting on board with this because I know there's a lot of paper pushing and also a lot of money attached to those settlements.
For sure. So we have over 100 banks working with Ripple today around the world. I think the vast majority of banks, like 99.9% of banks, actually are paying other banks, the global money center banks like JP Morgan or Citibank, to make those settlements. So a lot of the banks are very excited about democratizing how these global payments flow.
There's a belief that, you could transform the global payment system over time. Although then the alternative argument is you need a centralized. You can't have it decentralized, that it actually benefits from efficiencies. I would assume you come down in the latter.
Yeah, for sure. I think anytime you can do something without that central counterparty, you're going to reduce friction, which is measured by time, cost, speed. So by removing that central counterparty and going direct from point to point, you can skip going from the Bank of David to the Bank of Morgan to the Bank of Mike. You just go directly to the Bank of Mike.
So if the immediate opportunity is efficiencies in this area of the actual kind of nuts and bolts sort of plumbing of the financial system, how does that relate to the value of the Ripple tokens or of the Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies? They're taking on a separate life, it seems, from the future of adoption of this technology.
It's a great point, and I think one of the things we all have to remember is that the value of a token over the long term is really going to be derived by its utility. What problem is it solving? How big is that problem? How many customers do you have? There's no question there's a lot of hype in this system, and I don't actually think that's a good thing. For Ripple, we use this digital asset called XRP to settle liquidity needs between banks. So today there's $27 trillion parked at different banks around the world so they can make payments between each other. Our view is you can use a digital asset like XRP to do that in real time. Because XRP has been so efficient, it settles a transaction about 3 seconds compared to Bitcoin.
So it just passes through that currency for that period of time.
That's correct.
All right, so that was pretty much a 2 minutes synopsis on what XRP and Ripple does. Also, I wanted to speak about this. I thought this was pretty cool. It says Fox News talks about buying a house with cryptocurrency, and it shows off XRP on the screen. So I thought that was pretty cool. And as the years come, we're trying to purchase a house as the coin increases, all that other good stuff. It says breaking Trump Media, Crypto.com, Yorkville, American Digital finalized agreement for ETF launch. So I thought that was pretty cool for sure. A lot of big things are happening, guys. You just got to research it and look up more. It's a lot of stuff to cover. I just don't have the amount of time, and I don't want to sit here the whole entire time speaking about so much new news that came out in the crypto space. But the fact that finance hasn't been mandatory requirement in all junior high schools, for students to just pretty much it's just saying it's disgusting, right? This is the Treasury Secretary Scott. He just pretty much calls that nationwide financial literacy. Everybody should care about the financial literacy. Listen up.
Everyone should care about financial literacy, whether you are a student with a summer job or a part-time job during school, whether you're in college, whether you're starting your career, or whether you are at the end of your career. making good financial choices creates economic security. And look, it's fun. You learn about the markets, you learn how to properly allocate resources, and there's a big payoff over the long term for something you can do early in your career. Everyone should.
He said it's fun. He said it's fun, but the fact that they don't have this as a mandatory class or requirement, a financial literacy requirement to help children understand money and understand how money works is baffling to me. And this is why I question everything. I do not let people just tell me things and I just run with it. You literally have to listen and you question everything and you do your own research. Do not tell people, don't let people tell you what to invest in. I'm just a girl on YouTube and Jade the Investor. I've done my own research. I'm just telling you what I've researched, and it's up to you to do your extra extensive research on what type of coins I'm bringing to the table. But understanding financial literacy, gold, silver is God's money, cryptocurrency as far as Bitcoin, XRP, XLM, XDC, all those different coins are cute, but don't invest in anything that you have not researched on your own. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just bringing to the table what I've also researched. But financial literacy is key in why we are working so hard for this thing called money. Yeah, so I feel like this is definitely need to be in a school. I'm not going to be the dead horse because I didn't learn about money until I actually wanted to understand how to make more money. Gold hit $3,400 for the first time. So that should say a lot. Like I remember just yesterday, gold was at $1,200 per ounce. So we're definitely moving along, and this is the reason why people should understand financial literacy because, gold is a store of value. When you store your money in gold or silver or platinum, any kind of metal, couldn't get it out. Any type of metal where, you're buying it, and as they print so much money out, literally gold is always the same size. Gold never they can't print any more gold. Like gold is money. Gold is God's money, right? You can't print any more gold. So also this is on Bloomberg, says that Bitcoin is breaking away from the tech stocks and trading more like gold. Listen to this.
Breaking away from tech stocks at a pretty good time, trading more like gold just in time for gold to rocket higher. You can see that physical Bitcoin gold is up about 9% over the past month in April alone. That has dragged Bitcoin higher, especially in the last couple days. The crypto is up about 6% or so. And take a look at what has happened to tech stocks. In blue, you have the NASDAQ 100 actually lower by 6.5% or so. So Bitcoin may be taking on some safe haven characteristics, at least when it comes to its relationship with gold, Tim.
All right, so I couldn't really get it volume like louder than that, but yeah. So the OCC has confirmed certain cryptos related activities are legally permissible and expects banks conducting these activities do so with appropriate risk management processes in place. Listen to this really quick.
Digital assets are firmly ingrained in the financial services landscape. Today, more than 50 million people own cryptocurrency, and hundreds of businesses engage in cryptocurrency and require banking services. National banks and federal savings associations are well positioned to support crypto asset activities from within the federally regulated banking sector. I'm pleased that recently the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency clarified that certain crypto-related activities, including crypto asset custody, holding deposits as reserve-backing stablecoins, and using distributed ledger technology and stablecoins for payment activities are all legally permissible. The OCC also confirmed its expectation that banks conducting novel crypto activities do so with appropriate risk management processes in place. This action reduces regulatory burden, encourages responsible innovation, and enables banks to leverage new technology and innovative ways to serve their clients and customers. To learn more, visit occ.gov.
All right, so that was pretty much that, and I'm going to end it with this, guys. XRP Las Vegas is coming up next month. It came so fast. I feel like I was just talking about like 6 months ago. But yeah, I'm going to be there. A lot of other colleagues will also be there. It's going to be a great time for sure. So many people are going to be there. I think it's going to double because of the amount of people has signed up. But it's definitely a sold out show, conference. And make sure you guys like, subscribe to the channel. I'm out. Peace.